Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the home of the Slightly Above Average Ship Review. We are here in a video I made out of port screen parts, doing a comparison of the Royal Navy Premium Tier 7 battleships Monarch and Lion. As you know, Lion is a quasi-reward ship for this Winter Coin campaign. I already possess the Lion. I do not own the Monarch. So we're relying on the information available to anyone in that premium ship tab in World of Warships Legends. So without further ado, let's get into our comparison here. We're going to go through the consumables, then talk about all the different stats, take a brief look at the armor viewer, and then have my summary of these two premium battleships. So let's get into it. All right. Here in the consumables, the Monarch has a choice of planes, the spotter plane, the fighter plane, and the secondary battery. The Lion only has the secondary battery and the defensive AA fire. Now, the secondaries on these two ships are the same. I think I'll gloss over it later, but they're 8x2, 134 millimeter turrets, firing range of, I want to say, 5 kilometers, reload every 6.7 seconds. So that enhanced secondary targeting for the Lion really isn't that useful, which is why I have the DFAA loaded up here. That's how I roll out with my Lion, regardless of whether I have an aircraft carrier or not. Obviously, you don't know that when you're starting the match anyway. As you can see, we also do have the permanent camo applied to the Lion. We'll touch on that later when we get to that part of the review. All right, taking a look at survivability, here's some numbers that just jump off the page. You know, the armor, 457 on the Monarch, that's the rear plate of the turret. So unless someone is shooting at the rear of your turrets, that plate has no meaning when it comes to survivability. Now, the Lion, on the other hand, has 14,000 more hit points and a slightly better torpedo damage reduction. I want to say I was using a aircraft carrier commander, so it shouldn't have affected these stats. I think it can get as high as 31%, depending on your skill choices for that line commander. You just can't gloss over 14,000 more hit points. That is a huge, huge advantage for the Lion. And we'll repeat this theme in the other sections as we go through them. All right, next we're going to take a look at the artillery. So the Monarch has, and the Lion have the same turret arrangement, 3x3 guns. The Monarch has 381 millimeter guns. They have 300 meters less range. They do reload 5 seconds faster. The Lion's guns are 406 millimeters, so there's an overmatch potential there. They do 600 more HE damage. They have an 11% better fire chance, and they do 700 more AP damage. So again, and those numbers could even get better depending on your commander skill choices. But again, this is a huge advantage for the Lion, despite Wargaming saying the Monarch has superior artillery rating, probably because of the reload. I just don't buy that, and you shouldn't buy it either. All right. Now, here in a minute, we'll get to another tab with a huge advantage for the Lion. That's right, we're talking about AA defense. So you look at the Lion, all of the AA is concentrated between 4.5 kilometers and 3.5 kilometers. Once that inbound enemy aircraft hits 3.5 kilometers from the Lion, all the Lion's AA is in use. The Monarch, you can see it's more of a 4.5, 2.5, 2.5, 2. The other thing you look at are these average damage per second numbers. That Bofors Mark IV, 136 damage per second. The Bofors Mark VI, 292 damage per second. And then you look over on the other side of the screen, that 39 QF Mark VII, 52, I think, or 57. And then the Mark VIII, 119. So those numbers are a huge loss. And again, the Lion, a huge advantage when it comes to aircraft carriers being in the games. All right, maneuverability. Lion, 1.5 knots faster, better rudder shift time. I don't believe I had any flags mounted, so that's another advantage for the Lion. Really, the rudder shift is the big one. The Monarch's turning circle is 40 meters smaller. That may be because it's going slower. So I really wouldn't read too much into the difference of those numbers other than the rudder shift advantage Lion. All right, concealment. Again, I put a little blurb in here, identical secondaries for these two ships, because that's cut off in the graphic when I talked about the artillery. All right, so I had the permanent camo mounted on the Lion. I think that's accounting for the difference here. There may be a 1 or 2 point advantage with the Monarch if you put camo on it, if you have it. But all in all, we're really not talking about a huge difference, and I don't think it means a lot. Here's something in the armor viewer that I noticed. The Monarch is a deep water citadel. The Lion has an above water citadel, and it is pretty easy to hit. I'm sorry I couldn't get an identical photo, but because of this port, the buildings prevented a side camera shot at the water level. So this is the best you're going to get. And in my experience in the games I've played with the Lion so far, you do get smashed sometimes when you're not angled right or your armor's overmatched. So summing it all up, although that Monarch has that deep water citadel, it really doesn't have anything else that would make it better than the Lion. In fact, the Lion has 14,000 more hit points. It's got the superior 406 millimeter guns. It's got superior AA, and it's got the same super heal that the Monarch has. Maybe in some respects, if you're a very careful player about your angling, you could take the Monarch, you could take that deep water citadel, and you might be able to do better than the average Lion player. But I think a good Lion player's going to be able to take those 406 millimeter guns and that AA defense and do a lot more, generally speaking, across the board in the matches that you play in World of Warships Legends. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. If you want more of these, comment below. I'll be happy to do more for you. Thanks so much.